Hello and thanks for joining us. You're watching TVC News at 1. We're staying on developments within the PDP. Now, the latest is that the Federal High Court in Abuja has restrained the National Executive Committee and the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party from removing Umar Damagum as the acting national chairman of the party. The court ordered that no other person must be recognized as PDP national chairman other than Mr Damagum until the national convention of the party scheduled for December 2025. Justice Peter Lifu, while delivering judgment virtually, issued the restraining order against PDP NEC, the Board of Trustees, and others in a suit instituted against them by Senator Umar Maina. The judge held that in line with Articles 42, 47, and 67 of the PDP, is only at the national convention of the party that national officers can be elected. Now, earlier before the court ruling, the PDP announced the appointment of Yayari Mohammed as acting national chairman. His appointment follows the suspension of Umar Damagum as the acting national chairman. According to a statement signed by the suspended National Publicity Secretary Debo, Ologunagba, the National Working Committee approved the appointment of Yayari Mohammed in acting capacity. The appointment is with immediate effect. The National Working Committee calls on all organs, leaders, critical stakeholders, and members of the party to remain focused, especially as the NWC begins arrangements to hold the party's National Executive Committee meeting. Now, on Thursday, the National Working Committee of the PDP at its 593rd meeting directed the National Publicity Secretary Debo, Ologunagba, and the National Legal Advisor Kamaldeen Adeyemi Ajibade to step aside. This was contained in a statement signed by the National Director of Publicity, Chinwo Norom. The NWC also constituted a committee to be chaired by the Deputy National Chairman, South, Taufik Arakbaja, to investigate the issues raised against the officers in compliance with the provisions of the constitution of the party. Following the NWC's decision, it directed their respective deputies to assume office in acting capacity with effect from today, the 11th of October, pending the conclusion of investigation by the committee. And now, in a swift move, suspended National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba, in a statement, announced the suspension of the acting national chairman, Umar Damagum, and National Secretary, Senator Umar. The NWC said this stemmed from a series of complaints raised against them, which includes anti-party activity against the acting national chairman and gross violation of provisions of the PDP constitution leveled against the national secretary. The two officials were also suspended from all meetings, activities, and programs of the NWC, pending the conclusion of investigation by the National Disciplinary Committee. The acting National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Ibrahim Abdullahi Manga, has assumed office following the suspension of Debo Ologunagba by the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party over allegations of anti-party activities. The acting publicity secretary acknowledged that the party is contending with some level of internal bickering, but assured that the party will emerge stronger. The acting publicity secretary disclosed that his predecessor and the suspended national legal advisor will face a disciplinary committee to answer to allegations leveled against them.
We have been visited with the worst government in the 8 years of Buhari. Just when we thought we were going to heave a sigh of relief in 2023 election, again, a more monstrous administration has taken over and has subjected Nigeria since then to this perpetual misery characterized by squalor, hunger, and despondency in the land. It is for you to know that in addition to your responsibility as members of the PEN, we are also family men and distinguished Nigerians. We are all in this together. It is the kind of support that we get from you going forward that will determine whether or not we are collectively on a page to rescue this country from imminent collapse, or rather the democracy itself, narrowing it in particular.
Now, for more on this development, State House correspondent Femi Akonde joins me now on the news. He joins me from the nation's capital. Femi, for those who have been following this development since news broke yesterday, it's been, I'm sure their head is spinning now with all of the development. First, suspended national chairman, suspended national publicity secretary, a court injunction restraining them from suspending the national chairman. Tie all of this together for us, Femi.
Well, Precious, one thing is clear. The opposition inside Nigeria's opposition political party is getting stronger. Those opposed to the leadership of Ambassador Umar Damagum are beginning to, unite, and we saw them come out with that press statement suspending the acting national chairman. But he has gotten some respite now from the court, the Federal High Court, restraining the National Working Committee of the party from suspending him. Well, for now, he will continue in charge at the saddle here at the national headquarters of the People's Democratic Party. But that does not mean that all of the problems in the party will just go away. The party still has so much to contend with. If you look at the press statement by the now suspended National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba, he raised some allegations, and these allegations have been around, over the party's role in Rivers State, following the status of the 27 lawmakers in Rivers State over allegations whether they defected to the APC or they remained in the PDP. There are allegations that the party, national chairman of the party, wrote to the appeal court against the position of the party, and then saying that these 27 lawmakers are still members of the People's Democratic Party. These are some of the allegations against the national chairman, which has caused him so much trouble. But one thing we are hearing also from the acting National Publicity Secretary is that the now suspended Publicity Secretary was asked to step aside because of allegations of indiscipline and insubordination. You also recall that in Rivers State, the People's Democratic Party had earlier said that they will not take part in the local government elections of Rivers State. But we also later saw a statement from the party signed by the now suspended Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba, urging people in Rivers State to go and participate in that election. That was against the position of the party, and that is why the National Working Committee, led by the national chairman, Ambassador Umar Damagum, decided to wield the big stick. And they have asked the deputy national chairman to investigate and within 2 weeks come up with a position that will then determine the fate of the suspended National Publicity Secretary and the National Legal Advisor. Precious.
And Femi, I wanted to ask if we know where, because a reconciliation committee, disciplinary reconciliation committee was put together by the PDP at some point. Do we know where they are with that particular committee?